What's up YouTube, this is Harvey 1997 here, coming at you today with a new segment I'm going to be doing on my channel. I'm going to put this in the Banlist related agenda playlist on my channel rather than past formats because although it is technically past format, it's directly related to the Banlist. These are going to be discussions and historical review of every Banlist this game has had on the TCG side. So, we're going to start with 2002, and we're going to work our way all the way up to now. Hey, who knows, we might even be able to end the series with, like, a new list for this year. Come on, Konami, give us a new list, let me keep my Zodiacs. Okay, but seriously, though. So as I said, we're going to start with 2002, we're going to do this about roughly 1 year at a time, because although there are some lists with, like, 2002 has 4 lists, but not a lot happens in them. Then there are other years like 2009, 10, somewhere around there, where there's like 2 lists, like the March and September, and that's all there really is. Then there's ones like now, where we're supposed to get 4, 10, 1, whatever Konami feels like that year. Alright, so anyway, as I said, we're going to start with May 2002. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with I'm going to list the entire list for May 2002, and then I'm going to go over the changes in the list. So I'm not going to run through every single card that's on each and every list. I'm going to simply add on or subtract from the previous list. Alright, so May 2002, we have the 5 pieces of Exodia limited. Then there are 5 spells that are limited, those being Change of Heart, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed, Raigeki. And 2 spells are semi-limited, Card Destruction, and Swords of Revealing Light. No banned cards yet. That wasn't introduced until roughly 2004. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, I'm looking over here because that's where my laptop's at, so yeah. Okay. Now we have the July 2002 list. I know, only 2 months. It's crazy. Why don't they do that now? Alright, July 2002, there's almost no changes. But, very important changes, though. First off, we have Mirror Force being introduced, and it was immediately limited. And then 3 other cards were introduced that they got limited, semi-limited, my bad, right away. Those being Sangan, Witch of the Black Forest, and Heavy Storm. Now we have October 2002. These are all just limited cards. There were no semi-limited editions to this list, and still nothing's being taken off the list. Just added on, just keeps getting bigger. So we have Cyberjar, okay, Confiscation, Delinquent Duo, Painful Choice, Snatch Steal, The Forceful Sentry, and, wait for it, Upstart Goblin. For those who didn't know, Upstart went to 1 on its release. This, it being limited here in the TCG now, that's not a new thing. That it came off like a few years ago, and they're just putting it back on because they're realizing, okay, maybe it did add a bit too much consistency to things. I can see the point. I still think I should have my upstarts. I like my upstarts. Then again, I also like 3 chicken game, 3 pseudospace, and 3 terraforming. So hate me if you want to, but that's me. So yeah, that's going to do it for this section of October 2002. Still no traps added in for this one either. You're going to see a little bit more of that as time goes. You'll notice at the end of 2002, there will only be 5 trap cards on the list, period, as opposed to all the other things, because traps weren't quite that powerful yet at this point in the game. Alright, so now we have the final list for 2002 being December, where we have Jinzo, who is immediately limited on release, Morphing Jar, who had been out for like 2 sets now. I believe that's what it was. It was out when the October 2002 list was released, but they didn't touch it yet. Now they realize, okay, that's not okay at more than 1 copy. We're gonna limit it. Witch of the Black Forest was previously semi-limited. they realized, okay, that's also not a thing, so it's now limited as well. Guard Destruction, same thing as Witch, now limited. Swords of Revealing Light, same thing, now limited. Limiter Removal and Premature Burial both did not exist yet, they are both now limited. Call of the Haunted, Ceasefire, and Imperial Order are all limited. I think those are. I think most of these are pretty straightforward. Morphing Jar number 2, semi-limit. I don't really see the point in this one. I think that's something that I could see it being limited or banned, but 2 and 3 maybe, but 2 does nothing because you can still like loop 2 Morphing Jar number 2s with each other. If you only have 1, you can't do that, or as efficiently anyway. 2 is essentially the same thing as 3, it's just you gotta draw into it. It's just a little harder. No One of Crossout, its new release, and it got semi-limited on release. That's very understandable. I'm surprised it didn't get the immediate limit because, you know, blip effects are a thing, setting monsters are a thing, noblemen is a thing, to banish them. Which, when they use the term remove from play in 2002, they mean remove from play, as in you don't get that card back. It's gone. There is no Cosmo Town to get it back. All you spoiled new players. And last but not least on this list, we have Backup Soldier at semi-limit status at 2. That's, I think, an odd one because I don't really see what you're going to bring back. It brings back 1,500 or less attack normal monsters from your graveyard to your hand, which I get. It adds some advantage. It can potentially be a +2, but card advantage is card advantage does usually mean something, but not necessarily when it's in the form of 1,500 or less attack vanillas in a format where it's kind of dominated by things like Lajin Gemini Elf, like over 1,500 attack normal monsters, as well as effect monsters like Sangan, Witch, and Morphing Jar. The only, I don't really know what the big targets would have been. What, Giant Soldier of Stone? I can't really say. I've never toyed with Backup Soldier a whole lot, so I can't really say what it would have been at this time. I just don't know what the applications would have been myself. If you guys know, tell me in the comment section below. But yeah, actually, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Tell me in the comment section below what you think about this segment. The reason I'm doing this at all is because I got the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2009 game for my DS. I want to play some Teledad on there. We were looking through the ban list, myself and one of my friends, and I was like, wow. That's really... The one that struck me was Fissure being limited, and I was like, okay, that's really weird. I played in that format, and I didn't know. I mean, not super competitively played, but I knew what a ban list was. And it's like, I never knew Fissure was too OP at more than one copy. So, as we were kind of going through this, I was like, you know what, this seems like a good segment I could do, because I'll bet there's a lot of people out here in the community that really don't know about what some of these ban lists really had on them and how OP some of these cards might have been for their time. Believe it or not, people saying, oh god, Tower's too OP, it's broken the game, I quit Konami. People kind of said the same thing about, I don't know, they said the same thing about Cyber Dragon. Now I know that that was a really, really big for the time, but you see what I'm saying. Cards at different times have very different applications, and for how good they really are. So anyway, guys, as I said, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure to give this video a like, and subscribe for all my future content, and I'll catch you in my next video.